That's very well against the Cincinnati Reds, averaging nearly 8 runs per game, 7 homers in the last 3 games as well. But they run up against a Pittsburgh Pirates pitching staff that dominated the Brewers last time around, and to the tune of a 2.36 ERA in 11 games in the season series. Ivan Nova for the Buccos, Zach Davies for the Brew Crew. And hi, everybody. We welcome you from Miller Park. Great to have you with us here tonight. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. We'll hear from Sophia Minard in just a moment. First, a bit of news for the Brewers. Orlando Arcia is a scratch from the lineup tonight. He's dealing with back spasms. Not sure if we'll see him in the lineup tomorrow. Remember, the Brewers do have an off day on Thursday, so we might not see him on this homestand. And then that leads to the biggest news of the day. The Brewers center fielder tonight is Jonathan Villar, and he found out about 4 hours ago that he was playing center field.
It's always a surprise, right? Come to the ballpark, you never know what you're going to see. But Jonathan Villar in center field. He's going to be batting left-handed, and that's the key. Craig Counsell wants as many left-handed bats in the lineup against Ivan Nova. Nova a 300 batting average against left-handers. So Villar, he hasn't really played a whole lot of center field. He did do it with the Houston Astros. That's when David Stearns was around. So he's been taking fly balls for a while now. Looked good in pregame warm-up. So another left-handed bat in the lineup for Counsell. Villar having a really good homestand. He's 7 for his last 17, which means, you know, that's why he's in the lineup. He wants to get some hot bats in the lineup, left-handers, and Villar will be leading off against Nova and play center field tonight.
And that means all of the second basemen are in the lineup tonight because Sogard gets to start at short. Neil Walker will start at second base. The newest Brewer sits down with Sophia Minard when we continue.
Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. By Cupie and Abraham, voted best, rated best. Cupie and Abraham, tell them you mean business. And by Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Newly acquired second baseman for the Milwaukee Brewers, Neil Walker, made his debut Sunday afternoon, went 2 for 4 with 2 singles and a run scored. And what a whirlwind 24 hours for Neil Walker it was. Good evening, everyone. Sophia Minert here at Miller Park. And with the timing of the schedule, Neil Walker joined the Brewers on Sunday, had the off day yesterday, and now he'll get a chance to play against his former team and hometown team in the Pittsburgh Pirates as the Brewers open up a 2-game series here against the Pirates. So in 2014, he was the National League Silver Slugger at second base with a .271 average and 23 home runs on the season. Craig Counsell said they liked the Thunder in the lineup against right-handed pitching, and you see his 126 home runs as a second baseman, 4th best in all of baseball since 2010. Over his last 2 seasons with the New York Mets, 33 home runs for Walker in 186 games. They're hoping he can bring that power here to Milwaukee as he was acquired in a trade Saturday and joined the team here on Sunday. So for Walker, it's another opportunity to play against the team that drafted him, that he came up in, a Gibsonia, Pennsylvania, an area native. So Walker spoke about the opportunity to play against his former team and hometown team.
You know, to grow up as somebody from Pittsburgh and to be part of, you know, going from losing baseball to winning baseball was really exciting. But, you know, obviously 2 years ago, getting moved from there, you know, it changed pretty quickly. Just the fact that, you know, being in the National League, I'm going to play him a couple times, and now being here back in the NL Central, my focus is on beating him now.
Walker back in the lineup at second base. They take a 2-game series here against the Pittsburgh Pirates. We've got first pitch coming up next at Miller Park.
In the air, right field. That is way back. It is slicing. It is up and gone. That's a fly ball deep into right field. That is going to be gone. And Josh Bell makes this a 3-1 Pittsburgh lead. And a call. Strike 3. Davies hits the edge. That ball's hit hard. Right field. Santana looks up and it bounces off the top of the wall. And Shaw sends one deep to right center. That is way back. Goodbye. The Brewers and the Pirates once again. Division rivals square off in a quick 2-game series at Miller Park. And Brewers baseball is presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Roof is open. It's a beautiful night for baseball here in Milwaukee. Very comfortable temperatures at 71 degrees. I'm Brian Anderson with Bill Schroeder. Sophia Minert is our Emmy Award-winning reporter. Brent Reland, our producer. Renardo Lowe directing tonight's game. Potawatomi batting order for the Pirates: Marte, Harrison, and McCutchen. In the middle, Clint Hurdle has Bell, Freese, and Frazier, with Mercer, Stewart, and Nova rounding out the starting 9 for the Buccos. That will match up against right-hander Zach Davies. Both teams have a lot of news coming into play today. Davies' first pitch is in there for a strike, and away we go.
Yeah, Davies 13-6. He's lost 2 of his last 3, and that was right after winning 5 in a row. He's making career start number 7 against the Buccos tonight.
Now the Brewers and the Pirates have played so many close games this year. Unfortunately for Milwaukee, they have come up on the wrong end of most of those. Matter of fact, the last 6 games between these two teams have been decided by 2 runs or fewer. Brewers got swept in a series to Clint Hurdle's team in Pittsburgh, and there was not a game decided by more than 3 runs in that stretch, and 3 of the 4 were by 1 run. Little jam shot. Thames is over. Fires on the run. Davies is there, and out number 1.
Nice throw
On a 3-1 put out to get us started tonight.
And nice job by Davies. Good throw by Thames. Let's check out the rest of the defense. Brought to you by Menards tonight. You got Braun, Santana on the corners. Big news: Jonathan VR making his first start out in center field this year. You got Shaw, Sogard, Walker, Thames from third to first, and Manny Pena behind home plate. All the second basemen in the game tonight.
VR is the 6th different Brewer to start in center field this season. Neil Walker, Sogard, VR, all considered second baseman at this point, and all in the lineup today. If you weren't with us for the open, Orlando Arcia is down tonight with back spasms. And a day game tomorrow. We might not see Arcia on this homestand, or the rest of this homestand. So just when you think the Brewers have too many second basemen, Neil Walker gets to start at third base in his first game, and now VR is in center field.
And then you get another one on the bench. Perez can play second. But yeah, with the day off on Thursday, you might see Arcia get another day off tomorrow to make sure that that back's going to be all right.
0-2 to Josh Harrison, misses down and away. Pirates have news of their own. They are without Gregory Polanco, their starting right fielder. He was placed on the disabled list before the game. Left hamstring injury.
Man, he's had a problem with that hamstring all year. 3rd time he's been on the disabled list for that. And that's a big bat to have out of this lineup. Brewers aren't crying about it. Yeah, Polanco has swung the bat well against Milwaukee.
Yeah, Polanco had 4 hits in his career against Zach Davies as well, with 4 walks. Fairly small sample size, but a lot of early success. Not available tonight. Broken bat. Ranging over is Walker, and throws on the run in time.
Yeah,
looks like Harrison coming up hobbled.
Yeah.
Running down the first base line. He looks like he's got hamstring problems.
Yeah, he's limping, isn't he? I wonder why it took Harrison so long to get down the line, because Walker was able to get him pretty easily. This guy can run pretty well. Let's see where it grabs him. He gets down the line. And right at the end right there, it looked like he pulled up.
Well, he is headed straight for the clubhouse. That cannot be good news for the Pittsburgh Pirates. I see the athletic trainer on his way in. The rash of hamstring injuries the Pirates have suffered. You get into this time of the year, get into August, been a long year. Everybody's playing with something, a little ding here or there.
Yeah, nobody's 100%. The dog days.
That includes Andrew McCutchen, who steps up with 2 outs. McCutchen has been out with a knee injury. The former MVP has left knee problems. He was in the lineup Sunday as the designated hitter, did not play Saturday in Toronto, left the game Friday running the bases. And so he's had some leg problems as well. 1-1 pitch.
Man, last time the Brewers saw the Pirates in Pittsburgh, Andrew McCutchen was red hot. He was swinging the bat well, getting a lot of base hits, driving the baseball.
Had a dismal start to the season. McCutchen was dropped in the batting order. He was moved to the 6th spot in the batting order. Rolls over one here. Brewers have a man there on the ship. Sogard makes a play, and that's a good start for Zach Davies. No fly balls for VR, and he'll lead off as we head to the bottom of the first. Harrison is on the field after running to the clubhouse. Looked like he was limping after a sprint to first, but he is back in there right now. Let's give you the Potawatomi batting order for the Brew Crew tonight. Jonathan VR, the center fielder. That is not a typo. The center fielder will lead off. Eric Dames and Ryan Braun. In the middle go Shaw, Walker, Santana, Manny Pena, Eric Sogard, and Zach Davies round out the starting 9. That will match up against Ivan Nova. He is a double-digit winner so far this season, but has not been the same kind of pitcher post All-Star break.
Yeah, the first half he had a 321 earned run average, and in the second half he's 1-3 with a 6.67 earned run average, making career start number 5 against Milwaukee. 2-1 overall, 1-1 this year.
VR shows bunt, takes a strike. Well, the big news of the day right there, Jonathan VR in center field. And the first question was for Craig Counsell, have you guys been working towards this? Has he been taking fly balls, preparing for the start? Craig said, no way. I didn't want to tell him that. He's such a good athlete. That'd be the worst thing I could do.
You don't want to get into his head, right?
So he told him today that he was in the lineup in center field, and Counsell said VR did not flinch. Said, no problem.
Take his at-bats any way you can get him. Although he does run around the outfield quite a bit, during the season, catching fly balls, shagging fly balls out there, and we'll see how he does in game speed. A little bit different.
Broken bat, that is just foul.
But the point is that Craig Counsell wants as many left-handers in the lineup against Nova as he can. Nova's struggled against lefties, a batting average over 300 against Nova. And right now the Brewers have 5 different hitters that will bat left-handed against them, including 2 switch hitters. Well, VR is 2 for 5 career against Nova. That's hardly a sample size, but one of those 2 hits was a home run. And VR is really starting to swing the bat better. He's had a good homestand, had a good series against the Reds. And for a lineup that up until this past weekend is desperate for offense, it's a good bat. Nova makes a nice play off the mound, and VR is retired. That's how his night begins. Well, let's check out the Menard Pirates defense. Pirates are down in the bottom third of the league defensively, 77 errors. That's a bit unusual for them. They're usually pretty tight defensively. Pretty good up the middle, though, with Jordy Mercer at short, Josh Harrison, at second base, Andrew McCutchen, the Gold Glover, MVP, out there in center field. Clint Hurdle has been part of this Pittsburgh resurrection for baseball. They've slipped this year.
And a team that has tasted the postseason, they have run into that wild card buzzsaw twice, losing in the wild card game. McCutcheon's last year of his contract. Be interesting to see the path the Pirates go after this season.
Been a very streaky team, winning streaks, losing streaks. It really hasn't been very consistent this year.
Thames on the ground to Bell, and that'll be the second out. Well, speaking of hot hitters, Ryan Braun has it going once again. 8-game hitting streak for the Brewers 3-hole hitter, and a streak rock that started with a bunch of singles, but lately he's been adding a little slugging percentage to that.
Yeah, back to his old days. I mean, he is really swinging the bat well and getting extension. It really started in Tampa. He didn't get a lot of hits in Tampa Bay. He only had 1 hit, but he was hitting a lot of line drives for outs, and that really jump-started him, and now they're starting to fall.
9 hits on the homestand for Braun. He's 9 for 20 on this current homestand. By the way, tonight is Game of Thrones night at Miller Park. So we will. There's a good one. Ryan Braun.
That's pretty legit right there.
Yeah, he's got the Game of Thrones look. Could pull it off.
That's Brawny with the long hair. Doesn't have that long hair anymore. Oh, they added it, didn't they?
I think it might be photoshopped.
Yeah,
but he
right.
actually had hair like that at one point.
Yeah, early on.
His MVP year, I think he sporting the long locks. Big fan of the show.
I am
They've
too.
got some of the characters here tonight. Winter is coming, Ron.
Yeah.
Great episode this past week. I won't tell you because I know you like to binge watch.
I do. I'm not going to watch. I'm not going to watch any until it's all over. When it starts getting cold out.
See, you're on your own. It's no spoiler alert if it's already aired. It's your own fault. It's a swing and a miss, and Braun strikes out. Nova with a 3-up, 3-down inning. Both pitchers off to good starts. We head to the second. Pirates, Brewers from Miller Park tonight.
And the Pirates as we head to the second. Scoops from the clubhouse brought to you by Car Soup. On Thursday, when the Brewers head out for their West Coast swing to Denver, Colorado to play the Rockies, they'll have some reinforcements. Chase Anderson will be rejoining the rotation Sunday afternoon in Denver. They are going to skip his 3rd minor league rehab start after his outing on Sunday with Colorado. He went 4 1/3 giving up 6 hits and 4 runs in that outing. And Counsell said he's passed all the tests. He's built up enough strength, so they feel that he's ready to rejoin the rotation. So he'll do that on Sunday. And they're hopeful that Stephen Vogt will be joining him as well. He has 3 more games left with Colorado Springs. He will catch 2 out of those 3 days. And assuming that all goes well with him, he'll be ready to join them in Denver as well.
All right, thanks, Sophia. Good information there. The Brewers feel like they are going to be making a couple of acquisitions with those 2 players. It would feel like a trade as Bell bounces out for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, all of a sudden starting to get back to full strength. Get everybody back on the disabled list. And you got to figure, you know, Colorado, not the easiest place for a guy like Jay Sanders to make his first start after a while. But, hey, I mean, if he's anything like he was before he got hurt, that will be a nice addition. Big time.
Brewers are going to be able to utilize the off days. Had an off day yesterday, another off day Thursday, as the schedule finally catches up for Milwaukee. There's a bouncing ball over to third. Freeze on the first pitch. Shaw takes care of him for out number 2.
Well, you know, Zach Davies is feeling good and has good command when he's getting outs early in the count. Keep that pitch count down and able to pitch deep into games. And that comeback sinker, the changeup and curveball, so important for Davies. He really struggled with that pitch his last time out against the Twins. 5 2/3, 6 runs.
5 outs, 5 ground ball outs for Davies thus far. Here is Adam Frazier. He'll be taking over most of the right field duties with Polanco out. Good looking young hitter is Frazier. Not the caliber of defensive outfielder as the others, but he can really swing the bat.
Yeah, makes real good contact. Not a guy that strikes out a whole lot. Puts the bat on the baseball. Got that on base percentage, you know, near 350.
No balls, 2 strikes. Davies deals and a foul out of play. Zach Davies tonight has 19 pitches at this point, 15 of them for strikes. Has retired the first 5, and he's got Frazier 0-2.
Last 2 right down the middle.
Purposefully going up in the zone that time. Frazier lays off it. Came up last year, did Frazier, hit .301 in 66 big league games. And he's been with the big league club all season. And he does a lot of this. He's a guy that is tough to strike out. He'll hang in there well. He fouls a lot of pitches off. He's got that short, compact stroke.
Makes you work for his outs. Not an easy out up there at the plate. Not a guy that you have to worry too much about the home run.
1-2 the count. And he got him. Boy, Davies pulled the string. Beautiful changeup. And Frazier swings and misses to retire the side. 6 in a row for Davies. Travis Shaw will lead off. We head to the home second. facing his favorite pitcher. These numbers against Ivan Nova jump off the page. 10 hits, 3 of those are homers, 8 runs batted in, and 13 at-bats for Travis Shaw. Slow pitch softball numbers against this right-hander.
Yeah, no kidding. And Nova, a pretty good pitcher. I mean, you're not talking about a guy just up from the minor league. This guy's been around a while, and Shaw really sees it well against him.
This season, Shaw is 6 for 7 against Nova with 2 homers. And the first pitch is upstairs for ball 1. Shaw hit one in the Allegheny River on a bounce in Pittsburgh against Nova. Numbers overall are fantastic for Shaw. It hits that one into center field. That's going to get down, a base hit. His 7th hit of the year against Ivan Nova. He's 7 for 8.
Yeah. And wow. 11 for 14 career with 3 homers. I mean, it's not a bad pitch either. I mean, Nova, that sinker going down and away, and Travis able to stay on it and dump it out there into center field. This crazy, crazy success against a very good pitcher.
Had a sound as if he broke his bat. He'll take the hit. And a single. First hit for the Brewers. First hit of the ball game for either team. And that'll bring up Domingo Santana. "19 home runs for Santana is a career high. Driven in 62 for the season. Neil Walker due next. Brewers rolling out their new offense with their new acquisition from the New York Mets.
And it gives that lineup a lot of length. Santana with a huge home run on Sunday, on 5th inning, a 3-run shot. Difference in the game.
Well, against Nova, 5 of the 9 in the lineup left-handed with the 2 switch hitters in there. Domingo Santana, that great opposite field power. Powerball home run number 19 of the season against Cincinnati.
A little insurance for the Brew Crew.
Brewers coming off a series win against the Reds, winning the last 2 games, Saturday and Sunday. A big swing and a miss by Santana.
Yeah, Nova doesn't throw hard. I mean, averaging about 93 miles an hour. He's got really good sink on his fastball. Very good curveball, and he'll throw a changeup. More changeups to left-handed batters than right-handers.
Two and two the count. Got a runner at first. Shaw. And Santana takes one low. Santana with 3 hits on the homestand. But that home run on Sunday. Sundays are Domingo days, by the way. Payoff pitch coming from Nova. Low, ball 4. A single and a walk, and the Brewers with 2 on, nobody out to start the 2nd inning.
And that's something that Nova doesn't do much of. Walk batters, only 21 walks coming in, 149 innings. He laid off a pretty good sinker.
So Neil Walker facing his old team, the Pittsburgh Pirates. He's had very good success against all teams in the National League Central, specifically the Pirates. 10 games career against his old team and the team he grew up rooting for. He's got 4 homers and 10 RBIs in those 10 games. 2 on, nobody out. And Walker takes a strike. Neil, a switch hitter, better from the left side, more power from the left side. And how about his first game as a Brewer? He fought hard to get to Milwaukee just to be here for the game and ended up playing third base.
Yep, and had 2 hits and an RBI. RBI single his first time up here with the Brewers. That was Sunday.
2 for 4 Sunday for Walker. And he swings and hits one hard to Bell. He fires high, and the throw gets away. Everybody safe. Josh Bell. Unlikely he's going to turn 2, but had a chance to keep a double play intact. Instead, it'll be an E3, and the Brewers have him loaded up with nobody out.
Yeah, 9th error for Bell this year over at first base. He was thinking about a double play. That's why he rushed his throw, and not even close. Mercer did a pretty good job just knocking it down. Had to go up. Had that ball airmailed Mercer, that would have been at least 1 run. Got to make sure of 1. Bad throw. We were talking about the Pirates defense, uncharacteristically poor this year.
And Bell is a below average first baseman, the way he throws it and catches it. He can really hit, but he cost him that time. Brewers have him loaded up. Nobody out. Manny Pena at the plate.
Oh, look at this lineup when you insert Walker in. You got Pena up, Sogard. Another guy that's been swinging the bat pretty well. Arcia out today. He's in the number 8 spot. This is a pretty good lineup for Craig Counsell right now.
Well, Craig Counsell's been talking to us for a couple of years now about a left-handed dominant lineup in this division, especially has the chance to have more success because of all the right-handers that you see, all the right-handed starters. Counsell likes his bench and hoping this offense can catch fire for the final stretch of the season. It's a shootout right now. The Brewers know they're in it, even though the Cubs are in first place. Cubs have 1 more victory than the Brewers and 4 fewer losses. They've played 3 more games than the Brew Crew. There are so many games against the teams in your division down the stretch, including the Cubs, that it is available. There's a little one hopper. Nobody at third base. Now Freese does recover for the out. And in to score is Travis Shaw. Pretty good play by Mercer, hitting Freese on the run.
And Freese realizing that the only play they had was third base. He's able to get back. Heads up play by both of them. Freese had initially gone after the baseball a couple of steps, but he got back. And just hesitated a little bit. He went from going to the cutoff spot to going over to third base.
That's a good play by Jordy Mercer. Very underrated shortstop of the Pirates. And that forced play at third base helped him secure an out there. He had no other outs available. Eric Sogard now with 2 on and 1 away. Strike 1 to Sogard. Rock mentioned Sogard's been hot lately. He's 4 for his last 8 at the plate. 7 hits this year against the Pirates and 15 at bats. He's been slumping since coming off the disabled list. Was out with an ankle injury. That one's on the ground to second. Might be 2. 6, 4, 3 it goes, and Nova works out of a bases loaded nobody out jam. The Brewers get just 1. Brewers take the lead 1-0. 2 in the books at Miller Park. Pirates coming to bat.
1-0 lead here in the third. And our big story in baseball from last night, for the Colorado Rockies, it was the season debut of Chad Bettis, and what an inspiring return from him after he was diagnosed with testicular cancer in November. He did have surgery on November 29th, had chemotherapy in March, so missed all of the season up until now. So he made his season debut, and what a debut it was. 7 shutout innings for him, 6 hits, 2 strikeouts, and just reading about the outing, he said it really took until about the 5th inning, he said, just to get his emotions under control, as you can imagine, in a really neat moment with his manager Bud Black when he was pulled from the game. So great to see Chad Bettis back on the mound, and we'll likely see him over the weekend when we're in there in Denver.
All right, thank you, Sophia. He is a great talent. Pirates know all about that specific kind of cancer, and a pitcher who came back, their own Jamison Tyone, did the same thing this year and actually pitched against the Brewers on that last road trip. And Tyone coming back, getting over the shock that there is cancer in your system,
right,
is the first step.
Came back quickly too.
Able to maintain the arm strength and then go through all the things that it requires and the rehab that it requires and the chemotherapy. It's good to see Bettis and Tyone back doing what they love to do.
Yeah, kind of a wake-up call, right? Kind of puts everything in perspective.
Zach Davies with Jordy Mercer leading off here in the third inning. Brewers have the lead 1-0, scoring on a fielder's choice ground ball by Manny Pena. Drives in the first run for Milwaukee today. But the Brewers probably felt they could have had a whole lot more, had bases loaded, nobody out, managed only 1.
Yep. Well, that's a Nova for you, though. I mean, he's got that two-seam fastball that can get him out of a lot of problems. Brewers not able to get the ball out of the infield with the bases loaded.
Feels like all the games in this season series have gone like that. A lot of jams, a lot of runners on base, but pitchers able to get through them. Wow. Mercer fires the bat into the stands, fouled the pitch off. And we got a good old-fashioned tug-of-war. Who surrenders?
Give it to the kid.
There you go. That's the best way to do it. Now that's a way to resolve a conflict.
A lot of stuff going. Yeah, the thumb pad, the bat's gone. Young man got hit. He's got a hand on it, though, didn't he?
Always have to pay attention. I love the fact they gave that to the kid. He took the brunt of it anyway. Way to use your head, son. 2-2 pitch, and it's a little bit low. 3-2 the count.
Yeah, good changeup right there. Tough pitch to take, but he was able to lay off of it.
Mercer has always been a threat down at the bottom of the batting order. Has 11 home runs this year. Oftentimes he'll hit 8th. Tonight he's batting 7th with Chris Stewart in the lineup. Pirates are going to be without Francisco Cervelli tonight. He's been dealing with a hand injury. Their starting catcher. Full count. Davies against Mercer, and another foul ball.
Yeah, the Pirates carry 3 catchers on their roster. Just brought one up, Diaz. Diaz replaced Polanco on the roster when Polanco went on the DL today.
And Cervelli needing at least 1 more day, maybe 2. Might not see him again until Thursday. Pirates have a series against the Cardinals beginning at home on Thursday. Back up the middle, it hits Davies. Takes a ricochet to Thames, and that'll be a base hit for Mercer. Caught him squarely on the leg. And a 10-pitch at bat results in an infield hit for Jordy Mercer.
Yeah, this is a tough team to strike out. I mean, they have struck out the fewest times of any team in the National League. So these guys, you know, the Brewers pitching staff are going to have to work for their strikeouts in this 2-game series. Putting the bat on the baseball, making Davies work, and able to get a base hit.
Davies, normally a very good fielding pitcher. He's probably among the best The Brewers have certainly one of the best fielding pitchers in the majors. But that one got by him. You don't see Davies spin like that off the mound. Normally he's in a great fielding position. I think it got the back leg even as he turned. Athletic trainer Dan Wright is out to monitor.
Well, right now it feels as good as it's going to. Might stiffen up as the night goes on. Let's see where it gets him here. Yeah, I think it did get him on that back leg.
Yeah.
Maybe around the calf, maybe a little above.
It's like the left leg as he turned. Again, that's not normally what you see from Davies after he lets a pitch go. Normally he's in a much better fielding position, which is why he is such a good fielder. But it'll be an infield hit, and the Pirates with their first hit. First time Davies will pitch from the stretch. And here is Chris Stewart now, the Pittsburgh catcher. There is a significant drop off in offense from Cervelli to Stewart. Stewart is an excellent defensive catcher. Throws the ball well, game caller, blocks pitches, all that. But he's not near the offensive threat that Cervelli can be.
Yeah, Cervelli had a terrific series against the Brewers back in Pittsburgh. Hurt him a lot. Had a walk-off. Cervelli out. You got Polanco out. Two guys that have given the Brewers a lot of problems this year.
Quickly 0-2 on Stewart. And he pops him up. That'll stay playable over his Walker. He wants it. He's got it for the out. And the first out of the inning. By the way, tonight's game, Rock, is on AFN, the American Forces Network. Now in its 75th year of broadcasting to American military personnel overseas in more than 170 countries they're watching, and naval ships at sea. Welcome to those watching tonight. Thank you for your service. Great to have you with us.
Enjoy the game.
It's a beautiful night in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, America's heartland. 70-degree evening, little cloud cover, roof is open. Nova, the pitcher, bunts right through on a foul tip for strike one. Nova has just one hit this year. He'll do all he can to bunt the runner to second base. Shaw creeping in. Nova bunts it foul. You can see Nova really is not interested in anything going on in the batter's box. He would rather be anywhere else.
Yeah, well, he's got one hit this year, so there is a chance.
You're saying there's a chance.
There is a chance. He's 1 for 45. Actually, no, 1 for 41.
Just put it this way, his head and his rear end aren't exactly in sync with what's happening coming from the mound. And he takes that one for a ball.
All those years in the American League, didn't get too many at bats.
Davies would love to get a firm bunt out of him with a chance to turn a double play. Shaw is crashing in from third base. He's only about 40 feet away right now, and Nova will take the walk back to the dugout. Just happy he survived.
Yeah, just he's okay with that too.
That'll be a strikeout for Davies, his second on the foul bunt attempt with 2 strikes.
Hey, tomorrow afternoon the Brewers wrap up their homestand with a matinee matchup against these Pirates, and because it's kids and seniors discount days, all kids 14 and under and seniors 60 and above can save 50% on tickets. Visit Brewers.com for tickets and details.
Day game tomorrow, a matinee on a Wednesday afternoon, and the last game of the homestand before the Brewers hit the road. Little jam shot that's going to fall for Marte, a base hit. And it's first and second for Pittsburgh. That will not be registering among the top exit velocity readings this year.
Yeah, on a first pitch curveball, and it was off the plate. Marte staying on it long enough to be able to dump it in right. And that brings up Josh Harrison, who's always had good success against Milwaukee.
Right off the end of the bat from Marte. Harrison bounced to second base in the first and then was limping his way back to the dugout and eventually into the clubhouse. Not sure what that was all about, but he looks fine since. If you're keeping exit velocity score over there, partner, which I know you like to do, that one left Marte's bat at 75 miles per hour.
Oh, really? That's 78. Okay.
Well, you got to recalibrate. Set your sights a little bit.
All right, 75.
Now you've seen one with the naked eye, and then you've got these statistics that show it. So now you can set it up.
I like the exit velocity. I think that adds a lot. It really does. I mean, it kind of gives you an idea how hard these guys can hit the baseball.
Well, the old saying in baseball, hit it like it's pitched.
He did.
It came in at 74, went out at 75.
Yeah.
One and two the count on Harrison. 2 on for the Pirates. Oh, wow. Jam shot, fouled it off his foot.
Not going to rub it, though, is he? Josh Harrison, old school. He hustles. He can beat you in a lot of ways. He just rubbed it, though. Right above the knee, the right knee. Didn't go down all the way.
Count remains at 1 and 2 strikes. 277 hitter this year. Harrison made the All-Star team this season. Another guy who can play all over, but primarily plays second base. Two and two to Harrison. 2 on for the Pirates. On 2 singles, one of them an infield hit, the other a little flare to right. Nothing on the barrel yet. Harrison pulls it foul.
And he's really doing a good job as Davies keeping the ball out of the middle of the plate. He's throwing a couple of them down the middle on Harrison, but for the most part, once he got ahead in the count, working the edges and particularly down in the zone. He's got a real good 2-seam fastball tonight. He's moving a lot. He's been able to command it on the corners.
Brewers scored in the bottom of the second. Pirates threatening here with 2 outs in the third. Back in there he goes, and a grounder off the foot of Harrison. He certainly has him inside conscious right now. But Harrison,
that's where you got to pitch him, though. I mean, he's really good getting his arms out and extended and covering the outside corner.
he gets hit a lot because of it. He doesn't stand on top of the plate, but he dives. Only Anthony Rizzo has been hit by more pitches this year than Josh Harrison. Totally different way and approach in setup.
Been hit by 21 pitches this year. Amazing.
Davies has had 2 long battles in this inning at the plate. Had a 10-pitch at bat against Mercer, resulting in an infield hit. And this will be pitch number 10 coming to Harrison. Runners will be on the move with the pitch. Mercer at second, Marte at first. And Harrison pops it up. Thames backing up. He'll squeeze it for the out. Good work by Davies, outlasting Josh Harrison. 1-0 Brew Crew. Pirates. First of two here against the Pirates at Miller Park. Day game tomorrow. We're pleased to be joined now by Tom Flanagan, who runs the Brewers minor league system, the farm director. Always great to have you up here. We get a little knowledge from Tom. But today's news is not the best news, and that is that Lewis Brinson is going to be out for the remainder of the season, it looks like, with a hamstring injury. What can you allow on Brinson in his situation?
Yeah, it's tough news, BA. He strained his hamstring last night for Colorado Springs. It felt a little grab. He's out 4 to 6 weeks, so we'll see how long that actually keeps him out. So not ruling anything out at this point.
Zach Davies leads off, sends one into left field, and Marte will make the catch for out number one. Go ahead. On
obviously a feel for him the season he's had. He's put up such a good year. Colorado Springs flashed it obviously in the big leagues in front of the fans here. So we're going to do everything we can, and I know he will as well, rehabbing that hamstring. Hopefully he can make it back, but the best thing is just to get him back to 100%, whatever that may be.
And you guys brought him back to Milwaukee, right, to be checked out. And so the plan, let's say he does come back, he's certainly a major league option, but the minor league season ends a month earlier than the major league season, so there aren't many spots for him to go play or get at bats.
Correct. Colorado Springs, they're in first place by a little bit in the division they're in, so we're hopeful they'll make the playoffs. That'll extend their season, so we'll play that out and then see where the big league team is obviously at that point, so we'll keep them ready.
You guys had big news yesterday. You had a minor league no-hitter, a combined no-hitter. Tell us about that.
Yeah, four pitchers at Biloxi. It was an interesting day there. They had a doubleheader in the minor leagues. They're 7-inning ball games. So Hiram Burgos began the game, went 2 innings, turned it over to the pen. Forrest Snow, Nick Ramirez, and Jorge Lopez all contributed. So it was a 4-headed no-hitter.
Yeah,
nice.
So you've had a lot of good work out of your pitchers down in the minor leagues. You got some guys you want to talk about. You know, Josh Pennington, the guy that came over in that Tyler Thornburg trade last year, and some other guys. Tell us about it.
Yeah, a number of arms just up the road in Appleton have thrown the ball really well, particularly of late. Josh Pennington, who you mentioned, came over in the trade with Boston, along with 3 other players. Really good-looking young right-handed pitcher. Has really put up some high strikeout numbers the last 3 outings. And then also Thomas Jenkins, a 13th-round pick last season out of Quinnipiac. He's up Wisconsin, still pitching very well, especially in the second half. And Zach Brown recently was promoted to Carolina. Made 1 start there already for Carolina, but he's really had a superb second half as well.
One guy we had on in the booth, the first pick by the Brewers this year, 9th overall pick in the draft, is Keston Hiura. And this guy's just been incredible the way he swung the bat, and he's done it at now 2 different levels. How's he going along right now?
He's doing really well. He's making some strides defensively as well. He's been in our throwing program. Tonight, I believe he's getting on the dirt for the first time, playing some second base for the T-Rats at Beloit tonight. But offensively, as you mentioned, he started out in Arizona, swung the bat from day one down there, and just kind of continued that up at Appleton.
So what does a minor league director in a major league ball club do after the minor league season's over? What do you got, about 2.5, 3 weeks left?
Yeah, there's always something, but hopefully we have a little bit of playoff run in a couple of our clubs, and then when that winds down, we kick off our instructional league in mid-September down at our Maryvale complex. So we'll bring in probably 45 or so of our youngest prospects and put them through an instructional league camp.
Eric Ames flies to left. Well, Tom, thanks a lot for all the info. Great job in the minor league system, man.
Thanks a lot.
Doing a terrific job. A lot of names.
Well
He's
done,
in charge of them. Tom Flanagan, the farm director. The Brewers have so much talent. We're going to be seeing a lot of those guys in the near future as well.
The 4th here at Miller Park. Time now for our unlimited baseball break, brought to you by T-Mobile. And after this series, the Brewers will head to Colorado to see the Rockies. And Nolan Arenado, good news for him. He had been hit on the hand in Sunday's game, had to leave that game, but he is back in the starting lineup tonight. The .311 average for him, and he was the first in the big leagues to 100 RBIs on the season. And good news for closer Andrew Miller for the Indians. He's expected to be activated Friday. He's been on the disabled list with some patella tendonitis in his knee. So he threw bullpens Friday and Sunday. He will do a minor league rehab assignment in AAA on Wednesday. And if he passes those tests, he'll be good to go with the team on Friday against the Royals.
Well, those are 2 big names, game-changing players that are going to be involved in a pennant race and a postseason run, Arenado and Miller.
Yeah, Brewers going to have to deal with him next weekend.
Arenado's just putting up monster numbers once again. He's pushed his way into that elite status right now. He's one of the best players in the game. Rockies right now lead the Diamondbacks in the wild card race. Those 2 are both clear of the Cardinals. McCutchen bounces. That's a shift on over there, and Walker will make the play for out number 1. Jam shot. Davies continues to miss the barrel of the Pittsburgh bats thus far.
Not a ground ball out. It's only 1 fly ball. That was a pop up to second base. It's always a good sign. Keep the ball on the ground. You can't get hurt too bad.
Our thanks to Tom Flanagan for stopping by, the Brewers farm director. He's done a great job. The Brewers have so much talent in the minor league system and how they've utilized the minor league system, especially AAA this season. It's helped the Brewers be where they are right now, right in the middle of a playoff push. 2.5 back to start play today behind the front-running Chicago Cubs.
Well, a really great job by Rick Sweet, the manager down at AAA this year. I mean, think about all the roster moves that have been made between Milwaukee and Colorado Springs. Guys coming up from AA from time to time, and And the Colorado Springs team is right in the thick of it, having a good year.
And as Rick said, the cupboard is rarely bare because of the talent that's going up and down. And one thing you can say, I mean, they're doing something right there in AAA, because most of the players who have been sent down, those who have struggled in the majors and gone to the minors, gone to AAA, they've all had success down there. As Josh Bell draws the walk.
And better when they come back. Yep.
You think about Jet Bandy and Lewis Brinson. Keon Broxton went down, swung the bat well. I mean, that's what you want to have happen when you send a guy down who's struggling, or maybe he's in a slump and not getting regular playing time. Brett Phillips is another guy that went to the minor leagues and is just tearing it up.
Yeah, think about all the guys that have come up and down between Milwaukee and Colorado Springs. It's the roster has moved around quite a bit, and every time they bring somebody up, they contribute.
There's a strike to Freese. David Freese
didn't like it.
Taking exception to that one. Davies had a scoreless inning in the third. 2 men reached, 2 were stranded. But it was a long inning for Davies. Had 2 10-pitch at-bats. Mercer and Harrison, who made the final out.
Pitch count nearing 60 right now. Not too bad. I'll tell you, David Freese just missed a hanging curveball that he would like to have back. That got away with that one.
That one's hit hard, but caught by Sogard. Eric Sogard pulls one down, and Freese robbed of extra bases.
Perfectly timed leap, and he can't get up any higher than that. That was a beautiful play. He timed his leap beautifully and able to get the out. That would have been in the gap right there, and he might have scored a run.
Hardest hit ball of the night. Very well done. Sogard not only having to play the velocity of that line drive, but it had a hook on it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
2 outs in the inning. Adam Frazier now. Boy, isn't it interesting? We're sitting here. This is why we say this every year in spring training. You just never know the way the season's going to go.
Right.
Sitting here in mid-August, and you have Neil Walker and Eric Sogard as your keystone combination tonight.
And VR in center.
Bouncing ball, that is foul. Now, if you're just joining us, Orlando Arcia is out tonight with back spasms. Might not see him tomorrow afternoon either. You might go ahead and take the time to see if you can get him all the way back. The Brewers do have an off day again Thursday.
Probably use a couple of days anyway, right? He's been playing a lot.
What a year he's had.
Yep.
The young shortstop. A ball and a strike on Frazier. And a jam shot, little flare, long run. It's going to fall, a base hit. Santana comes up firing. The throw to third gets by Shaw. And up and on the move is Bell. Throw to the plate in time. Inning over. What's that old saying? Lemons into lemonade?
Yeah, not a very smart throw, and you can't be doing that. You throw that ball into second base, and Clinton Hurdle, as every manager is going to do, is going to say that Manny Pena, or they're going to take a look at it to see if he was blocking off home plate. But boy, I tell you, this rule drives me nuts. Josh Bell was out by 10 feet, and they're going to look at it.
Well, he's got to set up, and as long as the throw takes him into the running lane,
right,
he's clear.
Yeah.
And you can block the plate as long as you have the ball in your glove, which he does.
It's interesting. It was given a little bit of the plate, and look how much he is out. I mean, he is out by 10 feet. Clint Hurdle has him taking a look at it to see if they can steal a run. This rule has got to go. This rule is a joke.
Crew chief is Joe West. He's on the right, third base umpire, who is getting the information from the replay center. Calling umpire is the home plate umpire, Andy Fletcher.
Now, first of all, you can't make that throw. I mean, you're not going to get Josh Bell out at third base because there's 2 outs. He's running on contact. That throw's got to go into second base. And the Brewers might be able to get an out of it. We'll see. We'll see what they decide in New York. But
well, here comes a call. Out at the plate. Good call.
Yeah, good.
That's the way it should be. Bell is retired, and the Brewers get out of the inning. Still 1-0 Milwaukee. To the Milwaukee half of the 4th inning, and the top of the 4th ends at the plate on a throw out. Travis Shaw cuts down Josh Bell trying to score on a wayward throw from right field. 1-0 Brewers. It'll be Braun, Shaw, and Santana coming up. Powerball home run leaderboard looks like this, with Thames still leading the ball club with 27.
You got to tip your hat to the umpires, though. I mean, the ones in New York looking at those plays at the plate. How many times did he actually rule a run in a situation like that? Hardly ever. I think that everybody realizes that is a flawed rule that baseball has put in. They got it right. He was out. He was out by 10 feet.
Yeah, the Brewers very fortunate. The bounce came back to Shaw as it did. You know, when you get a throw like that, it can go a lot of different directions over there,
including the dugout.
Depends on what it hits, but it hit softly and came right back to Shaw, who was drilled by a pitch.
Yeah, you don't think that Nova knows that Shaw owns him? 11 for 14, and just so happens to hit him with a pitch.
Shaw is 7 for 8 against Nova this year, and Nova fires one right at him and hits him on the elbow.
Yeah, right.
One to file away.
Yeah, we'll see how the Brewers handle that one.
And so Santana will bat now with a runner at first. Shaw's been on twice. Brewers scored in the 2nd inning. Shaw scored the run. Brewers had him loaded with nobody out. Shaw scored on a fielder's choice. Nova, however, minimized the damage in that 2nd inning Got a double play ball from Eric Sogard, and the inning ended. No further damage. Santana was the first of the trading wave to make it to the big leagues, and while David Stearns took over the ball club as general manager that season, that was the 2015 season, you might remember that it was Doug Melvin who actually pulled off that trade, trading Carlos Gomez and Mike Fiers to Houston, where David Stearns was as the assistant general manager. Santana the first to make it to the big leagues. Down he goes on strikes. 2 gone in the inning. 3rd strikeout for Nova.
They went up the ladder on Domingo that time, and Santana not able to get a piece of it. Nova doesn't walk many, doesn't strike many out. He relies, pitches to contact, gets a lot of ground balls, but able to get the strikeout right there.
Well, I told you it is Game of Thrones night tonight, and the best name we've had so far belongs to Neil Walker, who tonight on the scoreboard is known as Neil White Walker.
Yeah, those things are scary, aren't they?
If you know the show at all, that's going to be the ultimate enemy. But the White Walkers are coming.
You can't do anything about them. They just kind of reappear again.
I don't know, man. That big dragon, he can do something about him. One of the 3. Can't you do some kind of steal? I only follow about half the narrative in Game of Thrones, but there's some kind of steal that can take care of the White Walkers too. You're looking at me like I have 3 heads,
yeah,
or
keep
3
going.
eyes in this case.
Right, 3 eyes, which is normal.
It's been one of those shows. The first 3 years I made fun of everybody I knew who watched that show, and then after that I can't stop watching it now.
Yeah,
I'm right in.
It's one of those. That's why you got to binge it.
I figured it'd go away.
It's like the White Walkers. They never go away.
Good one. That's true. Walker fouls it away. Of course, if you're out there and you don't watch Game of Thrones, you have no idea what we're talking about.
Right.
I apologize. One and 2 the count to Neil Walker. 2nd game as a Brewer. Longtime Pirate. That didn't end so well in Pittsburgh for Walker. Reports were that he was eager for a long-term deal. He's from Pittsburgh. He was a star quarterback in high school in the Pittsburgh area, and he had hoped that he was going to play his entire career in Pittsburgh, but Pirates didn't see it that way.
Right.
They felt like Josh Harrison was probably a better option, and Walker ended up with the Mets in free agency. Now here he is as a Brewer.
And that was a period of time. Was that a balk? Nope. Able to step off, and that was a period of time where the Pirates are giving everybody long-term deals, but not Neil Walker. And hopefully he does to the Pirates what he did to the Brewers as a Pirate.
He had some great years for Pittsburgh. Walker is 31 years of age. Good block back there by Stewart. Walker just signed a 1-year deal. Contract expires at the end of the year. It's one of the reasons the Brewers according to reports, are getting some money from the Mets to cover a little bit of that salary, but there is a player to be named later involved in that, which will. We don't know how these things go. Oftentimes it's based on how the player performs and if the team ends up in the postseason. Who knows? Walker hits a sharp ground ball, but right to Harrison, and that will retire the side. 1-0 Brew Crew. We head to the 5th inning. Game of Thrones night at Miller Park.
In baseball tonight, we go down to Marlins Park, series between the Giants and the Marlins, and it's Giancarlo Stanton yet again. He has hit home run number 44, a solo home run off of Madison Bumgarner. So that's 6 straight games for Stan, which he's hit home runs. That's now 11 for him in the month of August, which is more than 5 teams in the big leagues. And the numbers just continue to pile up for him. It's been 18 home runs for him since the All-Star break, leading all of baseball with 44 home runs. He already has the Marlins single season record, breaking Gary Sheffield's record. And if you're wondering, BA and Rock, the record for homering in consecutive games is 8, done by Ken Griffey Jr., Dale Long, and his own manager, Don Mattingly.
Very nice. I was wondering that.
Yeah.
Sophia dropping a little Vin Scully on us right there.
Yeah.
In case you're wondering,
there you go.
Davies comes right back and hits Jordy Mercer. So after Nova plunks Travis Shaw, Davies hits Mercer, who hit Davies on a comebacker his last time at the plate.
And that brews courtesy of Ivan Nova. It's always dangerous in a 1-0 game to hit the leadoff batter, but I think that Jordy Mercer might have been expecting that.
Well, Chris Stewart now at the plate with a man on. Nova due next. Davies 4 shutout innings. He's given up 3 hits thus far. Brewers have only 1 hit. Travis Shaw, who singled in the second on a broken bat, but he scored the lone run. There goes a runner, and a swing and a hit and run is on. Base hit right center. Over to cut it off Santana, and the Pirates will have him at first and third as Chris Stewart with a single.
Yeah, didn't hit it very hard, a little bit on the handle, but able to muscle it out there. Again, these guys make a lot of contact, these Pirates. You can see that one down in the trademark, and that was probably a hit and run right there. You don't see many of those, and just out of the reach of Walker, that was about a foot away from being a double play, but turns into first and third and nobody out.
Stewart, a 180 hitter. Now the pitcher Nova is up there. And you got to be on your toes defensively in a spot like this. First and third, nobody out. Nova gets a bunt down. Could be a scoring play for Pittsburgh. And Nova does get the bunt down. It's a good one. Thames puts the tag on him running by. And the first out of the inning. But it'll be a sacrifice. Second and third, nobody. Check it, one out. And back to the top of the order.
And Nova doing a good job dropping that bunt down the first base line after not being able to do that his first time up. And helping himself, avoiding the double play ball.
Ninth sacrifice bunt for Nova. He's tied for second in the National League in sack bunts. Zach Davies is the leader with 11. So now Davies in trouble here. Second and third, one out, and Marte, the batter, has one of the 4 hits against Davies. And a little flare. That's going to be caught by Walker this time. Using all of that 6'3" frame to pull that down.
I'll tell you, that two-seam fastball is really working nicely for Zach. Now that tailing fastball going in on the hands of these right-handed batters. Eating them up. Another jam shot. This time Walker able to handle it. And you see the two-seam. He's got a good one tonight. That ball boring in on the hands of Marte and got in on his fist.
2 outs now. Here's Harrison. Second and third. Pirates threatening again. And Harrison on the ground. Sogard's got it. Throw to first in time. Brewers without Arcia tonight. Sogard can handle that spot well, and Davies gets out of the jam. Baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Toyota. Let's go places. Well, got another well-pitched, low-scoring game going, which is not unusual when the Buccos and the Brewers get together. 1-0, Milwaukee leads Pittsburgh. Head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Zach Davies just pitched out of a second and third, one-out jam with the top of the order coming up. Got Marte and Harrison, and took them only 3 pitches to complete that inning after 2 men were on. Nova back to work. Here is Manny Pena to start it. Brewers scored in the second. Their lone hit came in the second. Travis Shaw. Nova has walked a batter and hit a batter. Pena credited with the lone RBI tonight. Came on a fielder's choice. He hit a ground ball in the hole with the bases loaded. Mercer made a forced play at third, but a run did score. Has not been as sharp, Nova, in the second half, but he's been sharp tonight.
And he was 9-6 in the first half, right before the All-Star break, and had a .321 earned run average, a little bit different in the second half.
Longtime Yankee, came up with the Yankees in 2010. The prize prospects from their system. Yankees traded him to the Pirates last season. He ended up making 11 starts for the Pirates last year, including a start down the stretch against the Brewers last year. 2-2 the count, and Pena, a little jam shot it sounded like. McCutcheon's got it for the first out.
Been a lot of that tonight on both sides. Hey, join the crew for Coaches versus Cancer Night on Saturday, September 2nd. This special ticket package includes a seat for the Brewers matchup with the Nationals, a Craig Counsell Purple Sneakers bobblehead, and a donation to the American Cancer Society. Learn more at brewers.com/theme nights. Craig Counsell Purple Sneakers bobblehead.
Here's Sogard now with one away. And Sogard hits a bullet and it eats up Harrison. A line drive off the bat of Sogard. He will reach with one man out.
Almost knocked his glove off. That went all the way out to McCutcheon out in center field. There's that two-seam fastball that Nova left up in his zone. He hits a bullet. Exit velocity on that one, maybe. Off the heel of the glove. For sure a base hit. Only the second hit for the Brewers tonight.
Sogard is on with one man out, and here is Zach Davies. Davies flew out to left his first time up. Top of the order coming up. VR waits to hit next. Davies squares, gets a bunt down. Nova's only play is first. And a sacrifice bunt for Davies, his major league leading 12th sacrifice bunt. Advances Sogard to second.
Yeah, had to make an adjustment. That pitch was up and away and stuck the bat out there, got it on the ground. Did a good job with that bunt. Doesn't do a whole lot to hurt himself, does he, Zach Davies? He seems to be under control, and he seems to know what he wants to do and is able to accomplish it.
That was another one of the deals in 2015, slipped a little bit under the radar. Brewers getting Davies for Gerardo Parra from the Orioles trade deadline deal. Well, we'll see if VR can deliver here. He is in the game as the center fielder tonight, primarily to keep his bat in there. He's been hot lately. Had a good series against the Reds, and he is way behind that fastball and fouls it into the seats. Jonathan had 7 hits on the homestand prior to tonight. He's 0 for 2 tonight, so now 7 for 20 on the homestand. That includes a home run. His first start in center field tonight.
And one of his best fastballs right there. Nova reaching back 95 miles an hour.
Oh, and 2 the count. Sogard at second. VR has not had a ball to play in center field tonight. Not one.
Not even on the ground. Hadn't picked one up.
Isn't that the way it goes?
Still waiting to get that first one out of the way.
And it's not completely a coincidence that VR starts tonight. On night when Zach Davies is on the mound. That was all part of the formula. When would be a good opportunity to get VR in the game as a center fielder. Very athletic. VR, jokingly, I think, sounded actually more serious, but said, "Oh yeah, I play center field all the time at my family softball games in the off season." Told reporters that before the game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no problem. I mean, those are pretty intense softball games in the Dominican Republic.
Hey, look, he's an athlete. He's going to be able to handle. I talked to Ryan Braun before the game and said, you know, what do you think about VR? I said, look, the guy's a great athlete. He's going to be fine. Ronnie's been helping him. Ed Cedar's been helping him out there, positioning himself. And
2-2 the count. And did he go? He did not. Checked his swing.
when I talked to Ryan in that same conversation, what was the biggest adjustment or the thing you was the one thing that really gave you the most problems going from the infield to the outfield? Just said reads off the bat. You figure that, right?
Sure.
You know, those funny angles down the lines. VR didn't have to deal with that, but I would imagine there was some discussion between Ryan and VR. Yeah, Ryan handled it nicely.
Well, see, that's where those Dominican softball games will really come in handy.
Right.
Payoff pitch. VR back up the middle, knocked down by Nova. Hustling to it. No play. Infield hit for Jonathan VR. The inning is alive. First and third with 2 outs.
And Nova had to get that pitch up in his zone a little bit. He couldn't put VR away. Gave him one to hit. Yep, and the Brewers now set up. Couple of men on with 2 outs.
And Eric Thames coming up. 0 for 2 tonight. Flew out to left his last time up. Just missed it on the bat. Thames with 27 home runs. Boy, a long ball here would go a long way the way Davies is pitching in this game. First and third, 2 away. Sogard and VR on the bags. And Thames takes a ball.
That's the pitch right there you have to lay off of, at least early in the count. That's your ground ball pitch right there. That's Nova's pitch. That's what he wants you to swing at. That was a good take.
Curious to see if VR has a green light here with a power hitter at the plate and 2 outs. VR led the National League in steals last season, has 21 this year. But Stewart throws the ball very well behind the plate. There he goes. Thames takes, no throw. So the Pirates don't bother. Stolen base number 22 for VR. And now it's second and third with 2 outs.
Yep, had a pretty good jump. You know, the Pirates are banking on retiring Thames here. Yeah, big lead, good jump, no chance for Stewart. He didn't even bother.
A base hit could score 2 if it hits the outfield. 2-0 pitch. Thames trying to go the other way, fouls it away. Back to the mound, and Nova will underhand it to first to end the inning. Brewers strand 2, 1-0 Milwaukee.
Good bounce back after a rough outing against Minnesota, and I think a lot of it has to do with the two-seam fastball. Look at the late move, and he's getting in on a lot of hands, busting some bats, and that's really setting up all of his other stuff. He really hadn't thrown a lot of change-ups, not too many curves. When you have a two-seam fastball like the one he has tonight, they're not able to barrel up. Just keep throwing it. Just keep throwing until they hit it, right?
This feels eerily similar to all 4 games in Pittsburgh. The Brewers did not win any of those games, but they were all very well pitched, low scoring ball games, and it has that kind of intensity and feel to it tonight. Davies will face McCutchen, Bell, and Freese. 3, 4, 5 in the Pittsburgh batting order. 1-0 Milwaukee, scoring a second inning run on an out on a fielder's choice off the bat of Pena.
Zach Davies' performance tonight shows you that you don't have to throw in the mid-90s to get in on some hands. The jam hitters, you got to locate well, mix it up, and he's got real good movement tonight.
3-0 the count, and McCutchen takes ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk to start the 6th inning. Brewers are well armed and loaded in the bullpen right now, and a day off Thursday, so Craig Counsell will operate these 2 games probably with a little quicker hook than he normally would, because he does have that day off, and the Brewers had a day off yesterday, and he's got plenty of firepower down there as well.
Everybody available.
So runner at first, here is Bell. There's a strike. Those 4 games in Pittsburgh, the final scores of those games were as follows: 4-2, 4-3, 3-2 in 10 innings, and 4-2.
Yeah, and the Brewers had leads in all 4 games.
And got swept in that 4-game series. Part of that 2-8 road trip. Disaster of a road trip for the Brewers coming out of the All-Star break. They've just endured another 6-game losing streak, and yet through it all, they're just 2.5 back. You feel like you get through a losing streak like that, there's a hot streak coming. Bouncing ball. Sogard's over. Quick fire to second. Out there. Throw to first. Not in time. And a good pick by Thames to keep that one out of the dugout.
McCutchen got on Walker very quickly, and Walker able to get off a decent throw, but Thames able to pick the short hop. Another good movement on a 2-seamer. right off the end of the bat. Really not a double play ball, but Thames able to pick it, keep him at first base.
Well, the more you watch Eric Sogard, right, the more you think about Craig Counsell and his time in the major leagues and the ability to play short and then just do everything right. Make those perfect feeds. And that play he made on Harrison in the 5th. I mean, he's not near the defender that Arcia is, but there aren't many that are.
Well, as far as range goes and arm goes, but he positions himself nicely. He's smart. And he studies the game, and he's able to make the play if he can get to it.
In the air, center field, little breaking ball hang up for Freeze, and VR with his first chance of the night. No problem.
There you go. Nice and easy. You're saying, what are y'all worried about?
He's been waiting a long time to get one.
It's a fly ball. I've been doing this all year in batting practice. Plus, I play softball. I play center.
That's right. Softball center fielder. Where you get a lot of these right here, I'm guessing.
And a good jump. Nothing to it. About midway on the track. Well, that's over with. Now he finally got one. Now he can breathe a little easier.
Well, I watched him today during batting practice. Counsell told me before the game, I just assumed that he had been preparing for this day, taking fly balls, going through the Ed Cedar School of Outfield, but that really wasn't the case. Now they've talked about it, but it wasn't until today for early batting practice that they took fly balls, and then he took, during regular BP, took the live ball fly balls off the bats, and there were a couple of plays that he made that were impressive. It set your mind at ease right away. I was down there talking to Counsell at that time. He goes, see there? He made one over the shoulder catch, very similar to that. Came in on one.
Eddie gave him the Evelyn Wood course at center field. For those of you who don't know what that is, that's speed reading.
Very timely analogy there, Rob. Well done. Ed Cedar also told Jonathan VR, we know you have strong arm. We need you strong mind.
Right. In other words, don't make wild throws.
1-2 the count on Frazier.
Yeah, a lot of times, you know, an outfielder, you know, might try to make that great throw. You know, Santana nailed the throw to third base, but the Brewers were able to get away with it, got it out at the plate. But you just play it safe out there in the outfield. You don't have to make the tremendous, you know, highlight reel throw. You just throw it into the infield and hit the cutoff man.
Frazier in a 1-2 count. Runner at first is Bell. And he pulls one fair down the line. And it's going to get down into the corner. Now the race is on. Josh Bell around third. And he is going to score. That is going to be an RBI triple. A 2-strike, 2-out RBI triple for Adam Frazier. And we are all tied at 1.
Yep, and it was a curveball. Now we've been talking about that two-seam fastball all night. Frazier stays on it. Another case of these Pirates putting the ball in play. They don't strike out a lot. Here's the curveball. It's up. It's down the middle of the plate. Frazier's out in front of it, but able to keep it fair. So he makes a mistake with a curveball, a pitch. He hasn't thrown a whole lot of tonight. And Bell, with 2 outs, able to score easily from first base.
Just out of the reach of Thames at first. 2-out strike for the Pirates. And now Jordy Mercer.
Hadn't made too many mistakes, but that was one. It was a hanger.
Frazier's second hit of the night. He had been 0 for 10 prior to that 2-out single in the 4th. Mercer up there with a runner at third.
Well, be careful with this guy. I mean, we were talking about how much he's hurt the Brewers. You got Stewart on deck. 2 outs, first base open.
Pours a strike in. Fastball. 2-1 to Mercer. He's got some pop. You got to be careful to Mercer. 11 homers this year. Pena sets up away, and Mercer a ground ball. Walker's over, gloves it, fires a strike to first. That was a great play by Walker. He's not known for his defense, but makes an excellent play to end the inning. Brewers needed that. Walker working off the knee. Got a strong arm. Inning over, tie game.
The Pirates here in the 6th at Miller Park. Our minor league scouting report brought to you by the UW Whitewater Warhawks. We take a look at Wisconsin Timber Rattlers and Keston Hira, who was drafted earlier this summer. He's making his pro debut at second base. Remember, prior to being drafted by the Brewers, he had a partial tear of the UCL in his right elbow, so he had been less limited to just being a designated hitter. Tonight, he'll finally get out onto the field, but you see what he's been able to do between rookie ball and joining the Timber Rattlers. A .382 average, 4 home runs, 33 RBIs, just continues to swing a hot bat. So again, he had been drafted earlier this summer by the Brewers, 9th overall, and it'll be interesting to see how he does in the field. Get a good look at him at second base.
As it sure will. I'm sure he has instructional league or the fall league ahead of him as well. He'll be getting a lot of pro baseball under his belt, as he was just drafted in June.
Yeah, he keeps hitting like that. It doesn't matter what he does in the field.
Exactly. He'll be in the big leagues quickly, and as a college player, you figure a mature player. That's why the Brewers are pushing him as fast as they are. Well, Nova's Pirates tie the game on a 2-out triple by Frazier. Ryan Braun steps in, Shaw to follow, then Santana. Brewers have stranded 6 base runners, or 4 base runners tonight, and Braun strikes out again.
Yeah, this time on a curveball.
You don't see Braun strike out often, and you certainly don't see him strike out multiple times in a game often. Nova's punched him out twice.
And got him on 3 pitches. A couple of curveballs.
So here's Travis Shaw at the plate, presented by Wendy's. Had a base hit against Nova, which makes him 11 for 14 career against Nova. And then next time up, Nova drilled him right in the elbow. Starts him with a curveball, misses low.
Man, it's hard to figure the success that Shaw's had against Nova. Again, Nova's, I mean, he's good. He knows what he's doing out there. He's had some really good seasons. And Nova just trying anything he can to try and get him out. I mean, start him off with a curveball, then a changeup, and just trying anything to get him out. Sometimes, you know, you just throw it underhand. Say, here, hit it. Maybe he'll pop it up.
Throw it right down the middle. And Shaw sends one deep to right, but it's hooking, and it is foul. I got a little aggressive there. Anxious to swing the bat, not a chase ball 3.
And a curveball. It's a good one. Nova's got a real good one. Very similar styles, these two pitchers. I mean, Nova throws a little harder, but you know, sinkers, curveballs, changeups, very similar.
Nova pitched against Detroit his last time out, got roughed up. 6 runs in 6 1/3 against the Tigers on last Wednesday. Pirates then went to Toronto. They played a series against the Blue Jays at American League Park. They will start a homestand against the St. Louis Cardinals Thursday. 2-2 count. Shaw takes a ball. Full count now. 7 hits and 8 at-bats, including 2 homers against Nova this season.
Just sees it well. I mean, there's really no other way to put it. Sees it out of the hand early, picks up the spin early, and well, he seems to be right on it. Even when he doesn't hit it hard, he seems to find a hole against this guy.
Another payoff. Shaw fouls it away again. This will be the 8th pitch coming for Nova against Shaw. 1 man out in the inning, and Shaw takes ball 4. More success against Nova, on base for the 3rd time tonight. A single, hit by a pitch, now a walk, and a man is on for Domingo Santana.
Hey, get live broadcasts, scoring updates, breaking news, and more right at your fingertips with MLB.com at bat. The official app of the Brewers. Download At Bat today, free for your smartphone or tablet.
Good crowd on hand tonight on a Tuesday night in August. Day game tomorrow, and then a pivotal road trip coming. Colorado, San Francisco, LA Dodgers. Santana has walked and struck out against Nova tonight. Nova has 4 punch-outs. Issued 2 walks. That gets by Stewart. That's just a missed pitch from Stewart. That's going to go as a pass ball. Shaw ends up at second base.
Yeah, first thing I think when I see that, I think a cross-up, but I don't think so. There's not going to be any meeting at the mound. Fastball, and he just missed it right off the end of the glove, and now a man in scoring position.
A lot of times catchers will reach out there. They're trying to make balls look like strikes. Sometimes you forget to catch the ball.
You try and move your glove as little as possible. Catch it in the webbing, and he missed it.
Well, the Brewers have had some scoring chances. Bases loaded, nobody out in the 2nd inning. They scored just 1. Left 2 on last inning. Had runners at 2nd and 3rd, but with 2 outs last inning. Santana trying to deliver a big blow. Shaw takes his lead at 2nd. Santana able to lay off. And a good block back there by Stewart. Sitting on 19 home runs, Domingo Santana. Still only 24 years of age. Ground ball out to Mercer. 2 outs in the inning. Shaw goes to 3rd. And here comes the former Pirate, Neil Walker. Brewers have been searching for a second base option. Had some variations of lineups. Jonathan Villar began the season as the starting second baseman. Eric Sogard took the job from him. Then Sogard was injured. Perez has played a little second. Of course, the Brewers trading Scooter Gennett away prior to the season. Or actually, just flat out DFAing Gennett, who was then picked up by the Reds.
Yeah, that meeting at the mound was perhaps we're going to walk Walker here and go after the right-hander, and that's exactly what they're doing. The no-pitch walk, intentional walk to Neil Walker. How many times do I say walk there?
So Novo will get a right-handed batter up there. That second base situation, the Brewers had an NL worst OPS from their second baseman this season, 672. So that's one of the reasons Walker was a target. David Stearns able to pull off an August deal. First and third for Pena. Pena has been great in spots like this. 2 outs, runners in scoring position this season. He takes a ball. Pena is hitting .333 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. He's got Shaw over at third right now. 9 hits and 27 at bats. Overall season batting average is .285.
Well, he didn't try and pull the ball all the time. That's one of the reasons. You know, guys that are willing to hit the ball up the middle to the opposite field, not overswing, are normally the ones that are going to do well in these spots.
Brewers need a big hit. Pirates scored a run in the top of the inning with a 2-out base hit. One and two on Pena.
Took a little off there. And breaking ball changeup that time. Yeah, we'll throw it to right-handers from time to time.
Pena in a hole, 1 and 2. A little flare foul. Bell is over. That's in the Brewer dugout. Count remains at a ball and 2 strikes. Darnell Coles hit the eject button right there, didn't he? The Brewer hitting coach.
Trying to get out of the way and
watch him.
Look out, DC.
I'm out
of the way.
Hung in there for a little while. I thought he might stand in there and take it.
And then back to the clipboard.
Yeah, back to work. The hitting coach is always grinding. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ground ball in the hole. Oh, it's off the glove and into Mercer's hands and safe. Off the bag is Bell. Bell had a stretch. Safe is the call. Run is in.
Well, the Pirates are certainly going to take a look at this one.
Pirates do not have a challenge. Hurdle has used it already. Umpires can still go look at it, but it can't be from the Pirate bench. You can make your case.
Yeah, you know, so if they can do that, what's the sense in losing your challenge if you can ask for a review?
Yeah, good call. He's off the base.
Yeah, well, the umpires are not going to take a look at it. Good for them.
So Pena reaches and a run is in. The Brewers take the lead 2-1.
Be a base hit for Manny.
I'll tell you, if David Freese doesn't deflect that ball, Mercer's got a pretty routine out with Pena running.
Yep, right.
Or if Freese comes up with it cleanly, he's got it out. Instead, it ends up in the perfect spot from the Brewers' perspective, and Milwaukee now leads 2-1. First and second, and Sogard at the plate.
Most of the time umpires will take a look at a play like that, even if a team is out of challenges. But the umpires, I guess, said no, we're not going to look at it. The right call was made, and that's it. That's kind of the way it should be.
Yeah, it should be punished for not having a challenge.
Exactly.
Sogard into center field off the end of the bat, and McCutchen will run it down. Brewers strand 2, but they get 1. They answer the run scoring 6 with 1 of their own. Pena's driven in both tonight. 2-1 Milwaukee.
Brewers as we head to the 7th, and Beyond the Diamond is a series of community outreach events that will take place each month during the season, all of which involve partnering with Brewers Community Foundation, players, coaches, Brewers' wives, alumni, and team personnel working in the community. The community events will be funded in part by BCF and focused on the areas of health, education, recreation, and basic needs.
All right, Sophia, thanks. Sun is set, nighttime in Milwaukee. Lights are up full candle, roof is open. And another well-pitched game between these two teams. Brewers are back on top 2-1. Manny Pena has driven in both runs. And neither batted ball has left the infield for Pena. He'll take them. Davies working in the 7th now. Facing Chris Stewart. Davies' pitch count in great shape. And looks like he's on his game here tonight. He's had a terrific sinker. Been able to throw some good breaking balls as well.
Yep, he's only made the one mistake with the curveball, and that was that one to Adam Frazier.
Frazier with a 2-out triple and an RBI in the 6th inning. First and only Pirate run. Pirates are at the bottom of their order. Stewart, the 8th place hitter, singled his last time up. Pitcher spot due next. With the Pirates down, Hurdle will be going to his bench. Ground ball ranging over. Walker rounds it well, fires to first, and the tag is on. Thames coming off the bag, able to hang on to the baseball, and the out is recorded. 4-3 on the putout.
Yeah, just in case the umpire thought his foot was off the bag, he tagged him anyway. Good idea by Eric Thames. Yep, just in case.
Out twice. So Hurdle will go to his bench indeed. Jose Ozuna will bat for Nova. 6 innings, 2 runs, 1 earned for Nova.
Another good start for him against Milwaukee.
Nova rarely walks anyone. Tonight he walked 3. First time as a Pirate that he's had a 3-walk game, believe it or not. He came to the Pirates last year in a trade with the Yankees. One and one. Ozuna takes a ball. Well, Davies, he's behind in the count, but he is peppering the edges of the strike zone.
Yeah, no kidding. Really close pitches. Not hitters' pitches. You don't blame these guys for not swinging at them. They're right on the edges.
Ozuna is Hurdle's most oft-used pinch hitter. He's 4 for 32 off the bench. Those are not good numbers, but he is the one who is used most often. Hitters count for Ozuna. Davies coming in there and a foul ball.
Almost hit him. He was swinging regardless there. That ball right at him.
If he doesn't foul that one off, I think it hits him right in the stomach.
Yeah. He had decided he's swinging regardless.
Payoff pitch. In the air, right center, playable for Santana. And there is out number 2.
Hey, tonight's time of the game winner is the Landing in Tomahawk, as they call the Brewers, by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. They get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite. Lincoln County is Tomahawk.
Say hello to all of our friends in Tomahawk. Watching the Brew Crew tonight. 2 outs for Starling Marte, top of the Pittsburgh batting order. He's 1 for 3. Davies got him on a little jam shot flare in the 5th inning. That was a huge out for Davies. Pirates had runners at 2nd and 3rd and 1 out. Top of the order up. And Marte on the first pitch he saw flared one to Neil Walker. Runners couldn't advance. Davies would later get out of the inning, retiring Josh Harrison. Manny Pena asked for time that time.
Boy, there was a lot going on right there. Manny Pena standing up, Marte stepping out, umpire screaming.
I like the umpire points directly to Pena, say, hey, that's not on me. That's your catcher. Back to the fastball coming inside, and Marte almost leaned right into it. Got so much movement on his fastball tonight.
And he's been able to command it. I mean, a lot of times when a guy has movement like that, not knowing where it's going, and falls behind in the count and gets too much of the plate with it. Not tonight, not for Zach.
Marte lays off the breaking ball, and it's 3-1 now.
Yeah, he's been able to manage the movement nicely.
Well, decision time for Counsell. He's got bullpen activity. Marte's got pop. 3-1. Marte on the ground, base hit. A hot one through the infield. And now decision time for Craig Counsell.
Keep in mind that Josh Harrison has had good success against Zach Davies in his career. Tonight he's 0 for 3.
Counsell's going to make the move.
Yeah, coming in, Harrison was 6 for 9 against Zach Davies.
Well, Davies has come to the end of the line. Another terrific start. He will exit with a 2-1 lead and a nice hand. They come to their feet for Davies on his way out. Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Zach Davies done for the night. He will exit with a runner at first base. But another terrific performance by Davies. 6 2/3 innings, giving up just the 1 run, which came on a 2-out RBI triple by Frazier. Davies trying to win his 14th game of the year, but it's going to be up to the bullpen to get him to the finish line tonight.
And another sinker baller coming in. Jared Hughes, 51st appearance. Good numbers, a 361 earned run average. Last pitched on Friday against Cincinnati. Tossed a scoreless inning.
The former Pirate Jared Hughes against Josh Harrison. Starts him with a slider. First pitch slider.
Doing a little more of that as of late.
Harrison so dangerous in spots like this. He has power too, especially opposite field power. Hurt the Brewers badly with an opposite field home run in Pittsburgh.
Well, one of the reasons Counsell brings him in is because he gets a lot of ground balls when that sinker's working. Tough for hitters to get the ball in the air.
Hughes, one of 3 former Pirates on the Brewers roster. Hughes, Walker, and Broxton.
Marte is a base stealer. He's fast. Might want to try and get a jump and get into scoring position.
Harrison in his career against Hughes, only 3 at-bats, but does have a hit. That was a double. Hughes struck him out the other 2 trips. Pena, runner goes, pitches outside, throw down to second, and the tag comes out of the glove of Walker. Throw was just slicing a little bit. If it's on the bag, there's a chance at an out.
Yeah, tough pitch to throw on, and Marte got a good jump.
His 9th steal.
And watch Manny try to be really quick with the hands, and the feet are a little bit slower, and that's why that ball sailed. Good play by Walker to keep it in the infield. Still got a tag on him, but dropped the ball.
It was a tough pitch for Pena to handle. I'm sure he didn't have the best grip. Tying run at second now. 1-1 the count on Harrison. Hughes' ability to throw the sinker on the outside corner to a right-hander, what they call the glove side sinker, is so important to his success.
Yeah, and you got to be careful now because that hole over there at second base is large. A lot of room over there, and Harrison not afraid to go in that direction.
2 balls and a strike, trying to keep Marte close. Elsewhere in the division tonight, the Red Sox are roughing up the Cardinals. 10-4 is the score in that game at Fenway. Cardinals returning to Fenway for the first time since the 2013 World Series. Cubs and Reds are scoreless in the 7th at Wrigley. 2-1 Brewers here, and a bouncing ball right to Hughes. And the inning is over. Jared Hughes with a big out at Josh Harrison. 2-1. Brewers still lead. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It's stretch time at Miller Park. A reminder that you can join Fox Sports Wisconsin for the Greater Milwaukee Heart and Stroke Walk and 5K run benefiting the American Heart Association on Sunday, September 17th. That'll be at Veterans Park on Milwaukee's lakefront. For additional details, visit foxsportswisconsin.com/events. With producer Brent Reeland, director Renardo Lowe, Brian Anderson, Bill Schroeder, and Sophia Minert with you. Good ball game tonight at Miller Park. A.J. Schugel is in to pitch for the Pirates. Brewers up a run, and Counsell will go to his bench. Keon Broxton will bat against Schugel, appearing in his 14th game for the Pirates, and a minuscule ERA thus far.
Yeah, Pirates have a very good bullpen. They got one of the better bullpens, 5th best in the National League. They got a .380 earned run average, especially their winning scenario bullpen.
Well, all the former Pirates are in. Walker started. Hughes just got out of the 7th, securing Zach Davies' final line of 6 2/3 and only 1 earned run. And now Keon Broxton, who the Brewers acquired from the Pirates prior to last season. It's an off-season deal before the 2016 season. Brewers traded Jason Rogers to Pittsburgh. And Rogers has not been able to find his way back to the big leagues with Pittsburgh.
And Brewers got the better of that deal.
Well, you wonder what Broxton thinks, seeing the lineup today with Jonathan VR in center field. You're hoping he doesn't put pressure on himself. Broxton is such a streaky hitter. Craig Counsell by no means called the move tonight with VR a permanent move. It's just an option.
Matchup situation like the left-hander against Nova. Wanted as many left-handers in the lineup as he could. And VR did get an infield hit his last time up, stole a base.
If you're Counsell right now, do you lead Broxton in to play center field with a lead? In the air, right center. Boy, he hit that one hard. That is way back, and it is long gone. Keon Broxton with 2 strikes sends one out to right center. Number 17 on the year, and the Brewers lead it 3-1.
And what a nice swing he put on that baseball. Opposite field for Broxton. And now I would imagine you will leave Broxton in the game and put him into center field. Tighten up that defense, and that's got to feel good for Keon.
He has some thunder in that bat.
Yes, he does. Just a matter of making contact, and that pitch was down in the zone. Check it out. Well, he puts a good swing on pitches down. Our Badger Mutual Insurance run of the game, a Keon Broxton homer. If he can only lay off that high fastball and stick the swinging at those low fastballs, this guy could really be productive.
First home run Schugel has allowed this season. It's only the 3rd run he's allowed. And Keon Broxton, as a pinch hitter this year, is now 4 for 9. And an opposite field home run to give the Brewers a 3-1 lead in the bottom of the 7th.
And that's such a nice short stroke too, not over swinging. Just trying to put the barrel of the bat on the ball and just jumps off his bat with the leverage that he has.
VR strikes out for the first out of the inning. For Keon, that is his 3rd career pinch hit homer in his 2 years in the big leagues. First time he's done it this year.
And now the Brewers with a 2-run lead.
Eric Thames coming up. Thames is 0 for 3. The numbers across the board for Thames are strong. The one area where he has struggled is runners in scoring position. But he has an 880 OPS coming into this at bat. That's a slugging percentage just shy of 520, and then an on base percentage over 360. 27 homers, 51 RBIs. So it hasn't all been rosy for Thames. Had a huge month of April, and he's continued to hit the long ball.
Kind of reminiscent of the entire Brewers offense, right? I mean, Thames has struggled in those spots, and the Brewers have a couple of guys that have been good in those RBI situations, but the Brewers for the most part have struggled in that department this year.
2-2 the count. Thames pulls one foul. I mean, all in all, it is a success story for Eric Thames, no question. But there are elements to his game that he knows he could improve and hopes to now that he's back in Major League Baseball. He's been playing in Korea the last 3 years. MVP of that league, the KBO. Home run champ. Slow roller right over the bag and a fair ball, and Thames is out. Second out of the inning.
Every player has things he can do a better job of, and making contact. 2-strike approach, I think, would be something that each and every one of these hitters for the Brewers could work on. But it's a fine line that you walk if you're an organization. I mean, this is a team that hits a lot of homers. You don't want to take their aggressiveness away, and you hope that over time, as they learn how to hit in this league, they're going to make more contact with 2 strikes. You're looking at a game that features the team in the National League that strikes out the fewest and the team that strikes out the most. Big contrast.
Yep.
Brewers hit a lot of home runs. The Pirates do not.
Ballpark has a lot to do with that. You build a roster based on the ballpark as well. Braun hits it sharply through, base hit. Clean single for Braun, extends his hitting streak to 9 in a row. It's a 2-out single, and it will get Travis Shaw to the plate.
It went down and got a breaking pitch that was out of the strike zone. There's a curveball. It was down, not a bad one. Look at Braun, the way he levels out that bat and still is on balance. It's a difficult thing that he does when he never seems to be off balance on a swing, no matter where the pitch is.
You know, right before contact, you're Schugel. You're looking at that pitch in your mind and saying, I've got an out here. He's fooled.
Yeah.
But Braun's been doing that his entire career. He's one of the great hitters in the game. Ray Searage is on his way out with Shaw coming up. Wants to talk game plan with Schugel.
And the guy that has never changed his batting stance. That was the batting stance he used in Little League.
How many batting stances did you go through in your, let's call it since high school, college, and then pros?
I can't even begin to tell you. I mean, I could tell you this. I had 3 in one game a number of times. Just trying to get comfortable in the box. And we've seen big leaguers do that. We saw Arcia do that. Had different approach within the same at bat this year.
Yeah, one time a leg kick, another time the quick step. Shaw gets a breaking ball and he's out in front.
Hey, if Cal Ripken can have a number of different stances, so can I.
He was the guy that changed a lot, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he would change mid at bat sometimes. But it is fascinating that Braun has never wavered.
Never.
There's video of him as a high schooler. He once hit a ball out at Dodger Stadium in the area code games in LA as a 17-year-old. Dodger Stadium is a pitcher's park. Tough to hit him out there, and he did it as a high schooler. Shaw, bouncer right to Bell, and that will retire the side. But Craig Counsell plays the right hand. He gets Keon Broxton in the game, and Broxton delivers with an opposite field home run. Pinch hit homer makes it 3-1 Brewers, and another quick trip down the slide for Bernie.
home run in the 7th. It's now a 3-1 lead for the Brewers here in the 8th. The time for a game break now. Series between the Cardinals and the Red Sox out at Fenway, and that's Rafael Devers over at third base. They turn a 5-4-3 triple play on Yadier Molina. That was in the 4th inning, and the Red Sox would go on to win that game. So good news for the Brewers as the Cardinals take the loss in the opening game of that series.
I think Boston's found their third baseman.
Yeah, no kidding, huh?
All that discussion about who was going to play there. Rafael Devers, 20-year-old stud. So the updated standings, that's what it looks like. Cardinals losing. Brewers 2.5 back of the Cubs, who are scoreless with the Reds right now at Wrigley Field. Broxton stays in to play center. 8th inning, 3-1 Brewers, and here is Jacob Barnes on to face Andrew McCutchen to start this 8th inning.
Yeah, Jacob, a couple of innings on Sunday. A couple of scoreless innings. 57th appearance for Barnes, a 4.05 earned run average for him. Got to get that cutter over for strikes. And it was 2 innings. He punched out 3, so he looked good.
Won't imagine any sign of trouble. You'd see Swarzak. Swarzak's been the setup man for Knebel. But Barnes pitching well, and you like the power against guys like McCutchen and Bell. These are high velocity hitters and right-handed hitters, though. Barnes, at least McCutchen is. Bell's a switch hitter. But Barnes with that power slider.
Yep, 98 with that last fastball up in the zone, just missed.
Nice to have that extra run, though. Broxton giving the Brewers a 2-run lead. Each club with 6 hits. Each club stranding 7 tonight. Pirates committed the only error of the night.
100. There you go. He's feeling good. 2 innings on Sunday. Yesterday off and throwing 100 miles an hour.
McCutchen has been for a long time one of the better high velocity hitters in the big leagues. Quick hands. 2-2 the count. And it bounces in, knocks the mask off Pena, excuse me. And it's 3-2 now. Get that head down, Manny. Chin
Yeah,
down.
Put that chin in a chest protector. He's all right.
Got him. Back to the fastball, and a 100-mile-an-hour fastball at that. Strikes out McCutchen.
Man, he's feeling good. I don't remember Barnes throwing 100 miles an hour before. 98, yeah. 2 miles an hour more, and McCutchen, as you mentioned, a good fastball hitter. Swings right through it. Fastball in on his hands. Look out. Can't hit that.
1 gone. Josh Bell reached on a fielder's choice in the 6th inning. He scored the run. Scored from first with 2 outs. There's a strike. 97 on the edge. Council would love to get through this game without having to use Swarzak. He's been dealing with a neck injury, tightness in the neck.
Stiff neck, yeah.
And so if you can buy 1 more day out of it. Swarzak says he's available. Late game relievers always want the ball, especially in a situation like this. But the Brewers are fortunate to be in a position to have a guy like Barnes, who's been the setup man all year until the acquisition of Swarzak. And then you go back to Davies and how well he pitched tonight. 6 2/3 innings. Council didn't have to make that choice, using Jared Hughes to get the final out of the 7th. Backing up his bullpen 1 more inning. 2-1 to Bell. Dames is there. Nice easy hop. Barnes covers, 2 gone in the inning. Ate him up. Another big fastball.
He got that one deep in the zone and just an easy ground out. Hey, after this series, the Brewers head out on a 9-game road trip. But the road crew returns home on Tuesday, August 29th, to begin a 2-game set against the Cardinals. Check out the complete schedule and reserve your tickets today at Brewers.com. 2 against the Cardinals and then what, 4 against the Nationals. They're all big these days.
The Brewers have their hands full with the schedule. Most of the games the rest of the season will be inside the Central Division, but those 2 series on the West are out west, Colorado and the Dodgers. Colorado a wild card team right now. The Dodgers the best record in baseball.
Wouldn't take the Giants too lightly though.
In San Francisco, it's always been a tough place for the Brewers, right?
Right.
Giants have had a dreadful season, but still a tough place to play. Still scoreless at Wrigley, top of the 8th, Reds and Cubs. Got a pitcher's duel going there. Freeze with a big swing. 1-1 to count. Freeze does not get to the fastball like he did in his Cardinal days. And so you see some wild swings like that, knowing he's got to crank it up a little bit. You might hear a phrase every now and then, a hitter cheats to the baseball, which means he's not cheating, he's just starting his swing earlier
to get to that big fastball.
But that makes him susceptible to the breaking ball, and
but
Barnes has a good one.
But you don't want to make a mistake with that either with a guy like Freeze.
Fastball's right by him. That's the game plan against Freeze, and he has not shown he can get to one yet, especially up there.
Yeah, getting a lot of the plate up in the zone, not as high as the first strike. But got it by him anyway.
Only time Barnes gets hurt is when he hangs sliders in the middle of the strike zone. That's it. Very few get to his fastball. And a swing and a miss. He went with that little cutter and put it in a perfect spot. Impressive inning for Jacob Barnes. 3 up, 3 down. He strikes out McCutchen and Freeze. That is a wicked cutter right there.
The 8th inning, that's where we are. 3-1. Milwaukee coming to bat. Craig Kushan, Jerry Augustine getting set for Brewers Live postgame coming up in just a bit. It's your floor with Zach Davies tonight, my friend. Very nice bounce back game for him.
Yeah, definitely bounce back. You know, you talk about Zach Davies, how he needs to be aggressive with that fastball, use that off-speed stuff as secondary. Pitch is so big for him. Tonight, it really was a two-seam fastball down, and getting in on the hitters, very effective tonight.
Yeah, great location around the plate for Davies. Hope to catch up with him. We'll break down his game here from Craig Counsell. And how about Manny Pena driving in both runs here in this one? Big night for him. Brewers Live postgame presented by Ascension is on the way.
All right, Craig and Augie, thank you. This one going just as Craig Counsell scripted it. Davies strong tonight. Timely hits. Big home run by Broxton in a pinch hit appearance. And now the Brewers will face Joaquin Benoit as we play in the bottom of the 8th inning. 3-1 Milwaukee.
Yeah, they picked him up from the Phillies at the trading deadline, getting the right-hander. 8th different team for Benoit this year. Not this year, but his career. 8 different teams. He's been around a while.
Man, has he ever? 16th season in the big leagues. In the last 7 years, Rockies played for 7 different teams. 39-year-old former closer, closing duties for the Tigers a few years back. Mostly operating as a 7th or 8th inning man. Does have a ton of postseason experience, mostly with the Tigers. Santana walked in the 2nd. He's 0 for 2 tonight. In the air to right field. Right to Frazier, and he's got it for the out. Now the Jonathan VR experiment was a success tonight. VR fielded 1 ball tonight. 1.
Yeah, Zach Davies did a good job keeping the baseball away from him, but again, he got a base hit. He stole a base. He was in scoring position.
VR played 7 innings of center field, his first start in center field of his career. And he made a nice catch. The 1 ball he did play. Nice catch off the bat of Freeze.
Now, you throw any one of these guys, these big leaguers in the outfield, I mean, they'll be able to hold their own.
Here's Neil Walker with a base hit. 2 hits on Sunday in his Brewers debut, and Walker is aboard with a single, on base 3 times tonight.
Getting a high fastball and hitting it hard into right field. That's a good bat that David Stearns was able to pick up. It's going to help. And the experience that he gives you. He's been around. He's been through 3 pennant races, 3 wild card teams with the Pirates, and that's valuable in that clubhouse.
Walker is aboard. Here comes Manny Pena. He's delivered 2 runs tonight.
Hey, Manny's been catching a lot ever since the injury to Stephen Vogt, and then Bandy got hurt. Susak's come up. He's only caught twice, and Manny's been able to stay strong. Still swinging the bat well with all that playing time.
Sophia reporting earlier that Stephen Vogt is close to returning, expecting him back over the weekend as the Brewers go to Colorado to play the Rockies. Brewers are going to have a couple of decisions to make here, disabled list decisions. Chase Anderson close to returning as well. Those are 2 pieces, Vogt and Anderson, that if you made an acquisition to get those 2 pieces, you would have won the trade deadline deals. And the Brewers are going to get them both back. Anderson's got the goatee going these days.
Yeah, he shaved off the beard.
2 balls and a strike on Pena. Outside, ball 3. Chase Anderson was going along as one of the better pitchers, starting pitchers in the game when he was injured, had an oblique injury. Did it at the plate while swinging the bat. He said his arm feels electric right now, which is what you love to hear.
You just hope it doesn't feel too good. Guy like that, you need that good that location, that touch and feel around the corners. And we'll see on Sunday.
3 balls and a strike. Got a runner at first with 1 out. Oh, Pena had a good cut. Went down to a knee.
Back legged him that time.
Back kneed him.
Leaning back and trying to knock one out of here. Now that bat's been around a while. See that bat? Time tar all over it. Yeah, back legger. That's a definition right there.
You can always tell a good hitter by the age of his bat, right? Means he's not getting jammed or off the end and breaking those bats. Keeping one in play for a while.
All over the barrel of the bat.
3-2. Ground ball to third. Freeze goes to second. Out there. Throw to first in time and a double play. And that will end the inning, which takes us to the 9th. Last call for the Pirates. Brewers lead by 2, trying to close out Pittsburgh tonight. Keon Broxton with a big home run. 3-1 Brewers. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. To the 9th we go. Last call for Pittsburgh, and the Brewers all-star closer Corey Knebel is on to try to nail it down. Don't forget, tomorrow we're on Fox Sports Wisconsin for a day game. Miller Lite, what's on tap? 12:30 airtime, 1:10 first pitch. Garrett Cole and Jimmy Nelson.
Good one.
2 horses, big, strong right-handers, going tomorrow.
And number 22 for Corey came on Sunday. That was right after he pitched 2 innings on Saturday. So a well-timed day off for Knebel, and he's back at it here tonight.
He's facing Adam Frazier to start the inning, who's driven in the lone Pittsburgh run. Knebel will have Frazier, Mercer, and Stewart, the scheduled hitter. Jacob Barnes was lights out in the 8th for the Brewers.
Yeah, throwing as hard tonight as he has all year.
He hit triple digits multiple times in the 8th. 3 up, 3 down, 2 strikeouts. Struck out McCutchen and Freeze. Goes through the 3rd, 4th, and 5th hitters in the Pittsburgh order. And that leaves Knebel with the bottom of the order. Frazier has 2 of the 6 Pirate hits. In the air, right center field. Broxton is under it. 1 away. Just got it in on the label a little bit. And out number 1 for Knebel.
Always important to get that leadoff hitter, particularly that guy. That guy's a tough out. He's not going to take too many balls out of the ballpark, but he puts the bat on the ball.
Pittsburgh has been dominating the NL Central lately. They've won 9 of their last 12 games against the National League Central. Clint Hurdle's team comes into play today with a record of 2 under 500, 58 and 60. 4.5 back of the Cubs, 2 back of the Brewers. Center field, Mercer sends Broxton on the run at the track. Keon is there to make the play.
There you go. Let him hit it, Corey.
Jonathan Villar plays 7 innings, gets 1 fly ball. Broxton's in there for defensive reasons, gets back-to-back fly ball outs.
He barreled it up, and he took Broxton to the warning track.
Ran right to the spot. Gets a hand from his closer. He's a good outfielder, and his errors this year are typically throwing errors, but he makes them look easy when they are not.
It takes a really good route to the baseball, doesn't play all that deep.
Pirates down to their last out. John Jaso will pinch hit. Brewers lead by 2. Strike. Lands a curveball, does Knebel. That usually means trouble for the hitter.
Yeah, the more he throws, the better that pitch becomes.
This is with another curve. Brewers took 2 out of 3 from Cincinnati, winning the final 2 games of that series. Chance to make it 3 in a row with a win tonight. One ball, 1 strike. Another curve. That one missed. 2-1 now. And 3-1. Tying run on deck.
Guy on deck has a flair for the dramatic. This guy, Sean Rodriguez, on deck.
Back with the Pirates.
Make this guy hit his way on.
Hitters count 3-1 to Jaso, and he swings and misses. But a fastball right by him. 98 with the heat for Knebel. Full count now. Three-two pitch. Fouled it away. That was at 99 miles an hour. Jaso able to foul it off, checking his bat to see if it's still in one piece. Does he dare throw him the curveball here? That's his out pitch. Hasn't shown he can turn on the fastball yet. 3-2. Fastball missed. And the Pirates are going to bring the tying run to the plate. Sean Rodriguez. Pirates acquired Rodriguez 10 days ago. An August acquisition. Got him from Atlanta.
Well, he's 2 for 4 as a pinch hitter with the Pirates, and both of the hits, home runs.
Had a home run Thursday. Solo home run against the Tigers last week. Jaso takes off. Rodriguez takes a strike. Knebel got the benefit of a call there. And now Pena wants to go through the signs with Knebel.
I just want to make sure, you know, how they want to approach this at bat right here. You got an 0-1 count. Rodriguez, a very good fastball hitter.
His first game with the Pirates after he was acquired from the Braves, hit a walk-off home run against San Diego. His other pinch hit homer. Tying run at the plate. And a big swing by Rodriguez. 0-2 the count. Again, Knebel has the Pirates down to their last strike. Here it comes. Up and away, ball 1. Fastball. Jaso reaches on a 2-out walk. He's at second. 1-2 pitch is upstairs again. Rodriguez not biting.
No.
2-2 now.
Now you dropped the curve on him here.
Got Marte on deck. Knebel wants to finish this off right here and now. 2-2. And a curveball called, strike 3, and the ball game is over. The Brewers win. Corey Knebel with his 23rd save. A 3-1 victory for the Brewers over the Pirates. If Craig Counsell could have mapped that out, that would be a blueprint game for a skipper tonight.
Now the Brewers finally able to win a game against the Pirates in which they had a lead. Another close one against Pittsburgh. This time they're on top. Zach Davies brilliant here tonight, and the bullpen backing him up.
Only Clayton Kershaw has more wins than Zach Davies. Davies with 14 victories. Knebel 23 saves and a 3-1 Milwaukee win. Sets us up for Brewers Live. Let's check in with Craig Kashawn and Jerry Augustine standing by. Brewers Live starts right now.
All right, B, thanks very much.